For the next 8 weeks, I'm going to be travelling solo around Central America. From the beaches of Mexico and Belize, the volcanoes and ancient civilizations of Guatemala, to the natural paradise of Costa Rica.
I think this is actually the most relaxed I've ever felt, just sitting here with a handmade iced coffee, watching these fancy birds fly around.
In this episode, I take my first steps in Central America, visiting all the popular tourist attractions, whilst also some more hidden gems. From going to one of the 7 wonders of the world, to mopeding the whole way around Cozumel, to swimming in a few of Mexico's thousands of famous cenotes.
This is what? Back? Yeah, back. Oh my god, yeah.
I'll show you a realistic impression of backpacking the country, including the many mistakes I make along the way.
I took my passport into the sea in a waterproof pouch, which didn't end up being waterproof.
This is Mexico. Now let's rewind a second. So I've been lucky enough to travel to over 50 countries by the time I'm 21 years old. And despite a couple of Caribbean cruises in my early primary school years, I've never really had the chance to venture outside of Europe. So I've always really wanted to visit Costa Rica. As a geographer, it's one of the most biodiverse places on earth. Guatemala's meant to be really good for hiking, especially in the volcanoes. And Mexico's apparently really got a laid-back beach life, just like Belize. Some Central American countries, like Guatemala, get a really negative impression in the UK media, whereas other ones like Costa Rica are really hyped up. So I can't wait to see which ones I'm going to enjoy the most. So I'm going to be travelling alone from Cancun in Mexico down to Panama City, obviously in Panama. So yeah, let's get on that plane to Mexico, and I cannot wait. It's around a 16-hour flight to Cancun, including a pretty hefty 4-hour layover in Paris. I was only using the city for its airport, as I hadn't heard great reviews about Cancun itself, known as an all-inclusive hotel family destination. I therefore took the bus immediately south towards the very lively town of Playa del Carmen.
So I've booked onto the hostel Chichen Itza tour for tomorrow, so that basically gives me a whole free day to explore Playa del Carmen. So what better place to go than the beach? One of the best things about the beach as well is that it's just so easy to get away from all the tourists, and that's what I was worried about when coming to this part of Mexico. But like this beach I'm on now, it's just, again, so easy to get away from people. So the only problem so far with this beach is it's very difficult to find shade, but I think the guys behind me have conquered the problem.
While Playa del Carmen's not exactly known for being traditional Mexico, it is very Americanized with lots of big brands. But for a first stop of the trip, what's wrong with having a drink and a good night out?
And it would be rude not to try out the local delicacy, wouldn't it? The old salt. Cheers. Needed.
So I stayed in Che Hostel in Playa del Carmen, which is a chain of hostels all over the Yucatan Peninsula. It's particularly good for meeting other solo travellers, as they have stuff like meal nights and also trips to the local cenotes. And also it's a club, it's a party hostel, so there's loads of chances to meet other people. So there were 2 day trips that I wanted to take from Playa del Carmen. One was to the Chichen Itza, one of the most famous landmarks in the world and one of the 7 wonders, and also to Cozumel, which is famous for moped riding, which I'd never tried before.
So I'm on my way to the Chichen Itza with a big crowd of people that I met in the hostel. Yeah, at the moment I'm on my own, but I'm pretty sure some people are going to join. But it's a wonder of the world, my second one, so I'm excited for that. So we've arrived on the first stop of the Chichen Itza tour, and of course it is the gift shop. Trying to get us to buy some stuff in it. Is it free?
All right, you want to taste the tequila?
Yes,
Which
Yeah,
one?
go on
The
then.
regular or flavor?
Tell us which one is the
Which
best.
is the best?
Cherry bacon. This is cherry bacon. ¿Qué tal el sentiste, caballero? Muy rico. ¿Sí?
Te voy a llevar el mayor.
¿Mande?
that's actually
It's actually quite nice. Yeah.
$56. The almond liquor. Exactly. So nice. You can drink it cold with ice, put in the coffee, and enjoy ice cream if you want it. A special deal for you.
How much is this one?
Real price is $50.
Welcome to Mexico, just doing some tequila tasting in a random gift shop near the Chichen Itza.
So many travellers, like me, confuse the city of the Chichen Itza with the largest and most famous pyramid called El Castillo. It's clear to see why it was voted as one of the 7 new wonders of the world, as it's one of the largest and best preserved archaeological sites in the world.
So this bit behind me is the non-restored bit, which I kind of prefer, not gonna lie, it's more like authentic. But the problem with this place, as with any wonder I guess, is just there's so many shops. What do you reckon? There's about like 200 little stores out, all trying to flog you stuff. Just selling tap, which ruins it a bit, but hey, we're here for the wonder. We did give in and buy a souvenir for $1, I'm pretty sure, that's alright. But look how many gift shops there are. From this angle it's actually so impressive, the Chichen Itza. On the right hand side you can actually see how it's been restored, and then on the left, the bit that hasn't.
Amigos, this is the biggest court in all the Mayan world. The Maya king would watch the game up there, and amigos, only high class society of the Mayas was allowed to come and watch this game played. Who can tell me what is the position of the decapitated player? Kneeling on one knee is a position of honor and respect. Is what the archaeologists take as an evidence that he might have been the best player decapitated, because it's a position of honor and respect.
So just in case you missed the 200 odd stalls in the ruins, you've got another 50 in here. Who's gonna buy that?
So after a quick lunch stop at an all-you-can-eat buffet, we headed towards the first ever cenote I've been to, which are basically underground rivers, fresh water underneath the Yucatan Peninsula, and in quite a lot of them you can actually go swimming.
That is insane. Look at the hole at the top as well.
Someone jumped from there earlier.
Oh no, it's cold. Oh.
It's okay. It's like the sea. It's not going to warm up. I don't think they've taken off. This one is like a joke, and then they'll take it off.
The photos of this tour definitely made this out to be better than it was, but it's still pretty beautiful to be fair. This is my first ever cenote. What? How are 3-year-olds getting in without a life jacket? And we needed to pay for a life jacket. But if you're going to come to any of the thousands of cenotes, probably don't come to this one.
So for my last full day in Playa del Carmen, me and Lucas, who I met in the hostel, decided to rent mopeds on the island of Cozumel, just a short ferry ride away from Playa del Carmen. It only has one road around the entire island, and we wanted to stop off at one of the beach spots, so it's basically impossible to get lost, so what could possibly go wrong?
There are 2 ticket machines for, how many people would you say are here? Like 1,000?
Yeah, for sure.
1,000 people going through 2 ticket machines. That was the end of the boat, so if we'd been 6 people further back, we would have missed it. Last chance to buy snorkeling, he said, until about 5 steps later where you can buy snorkeling again. So the plan is to hire out scooters for today and drive around Cozumel. So we've hired them out for $30 for about 4 hours. So yeah, this should be an experience. I have not driven for 3 years, so what could go wrong? I fell off the bike. Brilliant. So that will be a lovely thing to pay when we get back. Wow, this place is insane. The waves are really rough today. What a cool little place this is. You got to be careful on these rocks. God, there's so many holes. So how did I actually fall off? So a car came like really quickly past me, and so I swerved a bit naturally, and then I hit a pothole and braked, but I broke too hard, so I kind of skidded and fell off. So I had two options. We could either have just gone straight back or carried on over the island, and it was tempting just to go back. I'll probably never go biking again if I turn back, but when you come to places like this, you just can't complain, like, how beautiful is this? We made it back to the car rental place. Hopefully they're not going to charge me that much. I crashed into a pothole and went off to the side. How much is a reasonable price to pay? Like 50?
Yeah, 50 euros I would agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's paint here and it's paint here. Here? Yeah. See, there's no broken part.
So what we got here, that's 130 and 70.
You don't make money from these parts?
No, we don't make money.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
You sure?
Yeah, sure.
What is it? 6,000, I don't want to put the numbers in, 6,600.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There you go. How beautiful does that look?
That evening I met the tour group I'd be travelling with all the way down to Guatemala, and after a few drinks and a meal we headed to bed with an early start the next day. The next morning we took the early Ado bus an hour and a half south to the small town of Tulum, which is famous in Mexico both for its white sandy beaches and also its popular cenotes, one of which we decided to visit, the Grand Cenote.
Well, this looks very tropical.
There's actual turtles moving in the water.
Oh!
They're cold.
Just a bit. There's what? Bat? Yeah, bat. Oh my god, yeah. Where?
Oh my god. Look at all of those. Right up there.
It's like hundreds of bats, isn't it? See it down there? There's a wild sock. Swimming with turtles is something I've just always wanted to do, and to do it here is just amazing. So we just spent the last few days relaxing in Tulum. We visited the Grand Cenote, which was insane. By far, well, it's way better than the one I visited in Playa on the tour. And also went to the beach and the Tulum Ruins. The Tulum Ruins I really struggled with because it was just so hot and you can't appreciate how old these structures are just when you're struggling.
In fact, it's not an underestimate to say we were more interested in the iguana mating calls than the history in the Tulum Ruins.
You can see he bobs his head in a bid to make him seem more attractive to her. What he doesn't realise, it's not his dance moves that she's interested in. It's the size of his wallet.
The beach was good fun. It was quite expensive, the beach club, but that's part of going to a touristy place like Tulum. This is the beach where all the influencers come to, and you can definitely see some of them are.
It is worth being aware of if you do go to Tulum. The town centre's quite a distance from the beach, so I'd recommend hiring bikes for pretty cheap and just cycling around. Tulum also has a great variety of street food restaurants, and I'd really recommend trying marquesitas, which are easily found on the street. A batter is poured into what looks like a waffle maker, sweet add-ins are thrown in, then the whole thing is rolled up into one crispy marquesita.
It's got cream cheese and Gouda.
Right, go on then, try it.
Muy bien.
Tomorrow we're heading to Belize, which I'm really excited about, but also a bit nervous because I haven't mentioned yet, I took my passport into the sea in a waterproof pouch, which didn't end up being waterproof, which is a bit of a nightmare because there's a bit of water damage. But hey, I've just got to see what the border guards think, and hopefully they'll let me in. So yes, let's head south into Belize.
So coming next, we leave the beach life of Mexico behind and head for the islands of Belize.
Are you excited to be in Belize?
Oh yeah.
We go snorkeling on the longest alive barrier reef in the world.
It's 185 miles long from north to south.
We got to see so many things like sharks, turtles and the corals. It was really good.
Fully embraced K-Corker lifestyle by having a lot of rum punch.
K-Corker!